Wait. Huh? No. No. Like this. Tushan Krishna, where is the karta? Here, I think. Hare Krishna, everyone. Nice to meet everyone. Happy New Year. Okay, so let us chant a little bit. We can discuss some topics. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Karuna Nitai, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Karuna Nitai, Jaya Gaura Chandra. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Karnitai Gaurachandra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. All right, so it's good that you came. Not got frozen in Amsterdam. I think last time was maybe 10 years ago. This cold. I remember when I just came here in 2004. It was actually it was quite common. Like in the winter, the canals would froze and it was quite snowy. But I think last couple of years it was always just like, yeah, there is no snow. So this time it's a complete shock for everyone. Yeah, so icy outside. Mukti, how are you walking these days? It's so slippery. Okay, so we will read today from Bhagavad Gita. Actually, I wanted to... Yeah, one moment. Thanks. Okay, so, yeah. For... Yeah, one moment. I forgot what is the verse. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, okay. So we will read from Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse number 2. And then we will try to discuss with you something on this subject matter. And the subject matter today will be actually, this is something that my spiritual master recently published this article about how actually ISKCON is sometimes we can see turning into this religion, but how is it actually different from religion? And it's something that I've been thinking about myself, reflecting a lot, because obviously I'm not here today to teach you anything. I'm just here today to discuss with you this subject matter, because I think it's very yeah, very, very important and very acute subject matter, because well, anyway, we tend to mix things up in our mind and to have all those different substitutions, and maybe not properly understand some things, and but at the same time, this deals with like the most important thing in our life. This is like the most basically important subject matter that we have, is how to actually return to our original consciousness, and that way to free ourselves from all this misery, and go back home, back to Godhead. But yeah, although we listen to this so often, and we read so much and listen to everyone, but still, we often feel that something maybe is not working as it is promised. So yeah, and that's not because the method is false, but because often we don't understand some things properly, and maybe not explain some things properly. And yeah, so first of all, I am also talking about myself, so I'm not here to tell you something, like to teach you something, but yeah, it's something that each one of us has the responsibility to think and to reflect about. So yeah, we will talk about that. So, and for that, basically the idea is that we will be speaking about how Krishna consciousness is not a religion, but actually a science. And I've chosen this verse from Srila Prabhupada. We know he's been constantly telling about this, that Krishna consciousness is science, first of all, not a religion. And this is a scientific process. And I've chosen this verse from Bhagavad Gita 4.2. Where he says a couple of times that in the translation and also in the purport, that this is actually a science. So yeah, evam parampara praptam. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Yeah, so yeah, you can repeat evam parampara praptam imam raja shayo vidu sakale neha mahata yogonasta parantapa. Okay, so we won't repeat, so just to save us some time, because there is a lot to discuss, and I will just read the translation and then the purport. So the supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science, as it appears, to be lost. And the purport, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki. It is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings, because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit, and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motive of the unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment, also, there are so many editions of the Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars, but almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, although they make a good business on the words of Sri Krishna. This spirit is demonic, because demons do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English, as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great want. Bhagavad Gita, accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculations, it is simply a waste of time. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sa kalineha mahata yoga nasta parantapa. Yeah, but this one is a little bit like for the eyes, you know? Yeah, flickering. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science, as it appears, to be lost. Okay, so let us chant Mangalacharan, and then we can. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Okay, so yeah, so basically in discussing this topic, I want to start with basically stating the problem that it is a problem in our society, whether we realize that or not. Of course, it's not something to blame anyone or to judge or to evaluate. It's just a stating of the fact that this problem does exist. And then basically we will talk about like how is it manifested and what are the these substitutions are, so that we would know better. Also we could reflect on ourselves, like how is it actually relating to me, how I can check myself against that I'm not following this path religiously, but actually I am treating it as a science and actually doing it scientifically. And then I don't know if we have time, we can talk about how we can actually resolve this, what we should take in order to not to get into this, how we should practice it in the proper scientific way, and that way have more chances of actually achieving what Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada came here to give us. So basically the first thing I wanted to talk about is is it really something that what is actually is it really how do we know that this is actually a science, and what does Srila Prabhupada mean by the fact that this is a science and not just another religion? And basically Srila Prabhupada in Journey of Self-Discovery, in the first chapter, he also says that The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, is basically trying to teach the science of the soul, not in any dogmatic way, but through complete scientific and philosophical understanding. And then also in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the purport, he is calling it, Srila Prabhupada is calling it specifically, like very, very specific. He says, not even the science, but he actually has this term. He says that this is a technical science of spiritual values. So he makes it like really very technical. Yeah, and I mean, what to speak, we can see that sometimes we tend to think that you know, we got into this and especially like these days, you know, when sometimes when we look at this from the eyes of someone who is just starting this, you know, like sometimes they can come to the temple, they can see the deities, everybody is dressed in a specific way, and people can think like, yeah, this is just you know, some kind of Hindu cult or Indian way of doing things, and what does it have to do with me, you know, like this is just another culture, another tradition, and you know, it's not really for me, especially here in the center of Amsterdam, you know, where people, they are very, I mean, they have a completely different background. Like, actually, the whole Amsterdam is about, you know, freedom and liberation, and basically, I do what I want, you know. And then when they come to the temple, and then they see that, yeah, you have to bow down, and you know, you have all those some sculptures there on the altar, and everybody is just doing something. You know, that may seem a little bit like weird and awkward, you know. Of course, maybe for people who come from India, all of that is kind of, yeah, it's kind of like feeling like at home, you know, like, because they're used to it. It's part of their culture. But for many Westerners, it's like, yeah, what is all this? Like, we don't relate ourselves with this. Yeah, and basically, Srila Prabhupada, he came and he would be repeatedly, constantly repeating that this is not just a religion, yeah, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have to understand that also very clearly ourselves, that this is not just another religion, like some part of a Hindu maybe religion or whatever, but this is actually a real methodology or the science that can help us basically, if to speak just with the simple words, help us even already in this lifetime to achieve some states of consciousness. In other words, experience some emotions that we would never experience anywhere else. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, we all want to be happy, right? What is happy? Happy is when, you know, when I'm happy, I'm happy. It's not something that I can fake, or I mean, of course I can fake it to someone. I can be like smiling and stuff, but if I feel inside I'm jealous and I'm angry and grudgy and this and that first of all gives me a lot of unpleasant feelings, and then I'm depressed and I have an anxiety. Well, that is not nice. That is not so pleasant. And then the whole Krishna consciousness as a science is supposed to, first of all, get me out of that. But then, you know, it can be void. You know, we have to fill it up with something else, something opposite. And what we can fill it up with some emotions, the higher, more elevated emotions, which are, well, at least in the beginning, maybe these are not real spiritual emotions, but at least they are very close to the spiritual emotions, like gratitude and compassion, you know, and these things. But then the question is, how do we know that this is actually a science? Because, and how do we know that actually Krishna consciousness is different from other things? Because, for example, many preachers of Hinduism or Buddhism, they also say that we have a very scientific and non-sectarian nature of our religion, and usually they say that to kind of oppose their religions to those mainstream Abrahamic religions, yeah, where they say, yeah, all those are very dogmatic, but we are more scientific, and you know, we have more tolerance, and you know, we are more inclusive, and this and that. And so the question that we can have, might have, how is it then Krishna consciousness is different? Because, well, Hinduism, if we look at it, and Buddhism, yeah, they also are taught as kind of like a scientific way, you know, and not and more inclusive rather than all these Abrahamic religions. Is this something that maybe Srila Prabhupada did on purpose also when he was preaching and saying that Hare Krishna is not yet another religion, but he was just using it also as a how to say, as a hack, yeah, to kind of inspire everyone, yeah. But actually, and we need to be very specific here, that actually it's not just Srila Prabhupada was trying to you know, inspire others by saying this, but actually we need to understand how is it really different from any other religion out there. It doesn't matter if it's Hinduism or Buddhism, or we're not even speaking about the Abrahamic religion. One of the first things that basically what we have to understand is that almost every religion puts a lot of emphasis on the faith. Yeah, you agree? Like almost any religion, they put a lot of emphasis that you have to have faith. Yeah, if you don't have the faith, then yeah, like, you know, I was a kid. My dad is a Muslim, my mom is a Christian, and they were constantly struggling when I was a kid. Like, dad would say that, yeah, you have to follow Islam, and she was like, yeah, he has to go to church. And then every time I would go to the mosque or to the Christian temple, they would say, yeah, don't listen to them. You just have to believe that Jesus Christ is the only one, and the rest is just you know, bogus, you know. and then the other guys, they were saying the absolutely opposite thing, right? But in our path in Krishna consciousness, actually, a lot of emphasis is put not on the faith, yeah, it's put on the logic, yeah. And here Srila Prabhupada is saying that in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the lecture, he's given a lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam in January 6, 1971 in Calcutta, and he's saying that those who are Goswamis, they place everything with nyaya or logic. Their instructions are not blind, dogmatic. Naya Kovida, everything what is said by Krishna or his representatives, they are not dogmas. Those who are not representative of Krishna, they will say simply dogmas. Just like in every religion, there is a dogma. But in Bhagavata religion, Bhagavata Dharma, there is no dogma. Yeah. So we have to understand that and we, first of all, we have to apply it to ourselves. So we have to look at everything in Krishna consciousness through this lens, that we have to see, first of all, where is the logic? Yeah, and explain it to ourselves, first of all, because before we even try to go and preach out there, we have to, first of all, convince ourselves. We have to logically understand why it's working. Yeah, why Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna, and why he is the only God, and why he is not Vishnu. I mean, he is not the incarnation of Vishnu, as also some people with the Hindu background might think. Yeah, like we have to very clearly understand that on the platform of logic, not just because we have a faith, not just because some you know, rascal Jagadish said something like that, yeah, or we listen to some lecture. But we have to actually really understand it, why it is all like that, yeah? And this is very important. And basically, because when we are not, how to say, not able to understand this properly ourselves, and to understand why Srila Prabhupada would never use this language to just maybe to get more followers, or to make it something nice, to present it in a nice way. We first of all have to prove it to ourselves, to convince ourselves that this is really like that, yeah, and that this is not a dogmatic religion, Hare Krishna, yeah, and we have to understand why. So this is one thing. And then the second part, which we want to now discuss, is that basically you might wonder, like, okay, so what is the problem with religion? Yeah, like, why are you stressing now so much this point that this is not a religion? Like, so what is so bad about religion? At the end of the day, even Srila Prabhupada was still using this word religion, it's just that he was putting like the proper connotation to that. So what is such a problem if it's just a religion? And the problem is that, there is something wrong with religion in the way that at least we know it throughout the human history. And Srila Prabhupada pointed out three things, like flaws, basically, yeah, that typically characterize religions in this world. And what do you think these flaws are? Maybe you have some idea. What is the problem with religions? Anybody? Ritualistic? Yeah. Yeah. So ritualistic, dogmatic, similar. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so what you said is basically one of the things that Srila Prabhupada is pointing out. It can be grouped into one point, but let's see what Srila Prabhupada is saying about religions, the flaws of the religion. So, and this is now, again, try to understand this applying to yourself, to ourselves, yeah? Like reflecting on how am I looking at things, yeah, and how might be perceiving things. Srila Prabhupada is saying that the first flaw of any religion is that religious affiliation, and this is very common in ISKCON, and sometimes we even are not aware of that, but actually that's how we perceive things. Well, at least I'm talking about myself. At some point in my spiritual life, now I can look back, I can see that was exactly the way I would perceive this. Religious affiliation tends to become part of a person's false self-identification. In other words, the false ego. Yeah. How many times did we see that? Yeah, this crazy karmis, this materialists, I don't want to deal with them anymore. I'm a Hare Krishna. Yeah. So this is when actually any other religion is the same. How are we different? And then because they are doing the same thing. Yeah, like you come to the church, they will say, yeah, all this. Hare Krishnas, they're like just sectarians, they're just crazy, like you come to the mosque, they will say, yeah, everything's totally like a complete joke, like they're just not doing the right thing. Yeah, you just have to really pray to Allah, and this is the proper thing, So and everybody, even though of course everybody has its own characteristics and stuff, has his own mood and personality, but down in the heart, yeah, the people who are just religious followers, they would have this very strong false ego that I am this, yeah, and basically what it will result in, what do you think? Yeah, conflict, hatred, violence, right? All those negative things, basically. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada is saying this. He's talking about this in the Quest of Enlightenment book. He says, one must know his own identity. Everyone is identifying with his body. I'm Hindu, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm German, I'm English. This is why so much fighting is going on. Yeah. This is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. But at the same time, we can continue this list. I'm Hare Krishna. Yeah. So if we are, it's good to especially in the beginning when we just joined the movement, when we just joined this organization, it's kind of like in the beginning nice to start associating yourself with this, so to say that, okay, yeah, I'm a Hare Krishna, but at some point that has to evolve, you know, because if after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we're still like, yeah, I'm Hare Krishna and I'm ready to kill everyone, that is something wrong about it. That means that I never understood the essence of Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm still a very religious person. So the second flaw that Srila Prabhupada is talking about is that religions usually overemphasize the necessity of faith. Yeah, that's what we just discussed. Every religion put it as a like the main thing, basically. Yeah, and any religion would turn its faith into some set of blind dogmas. And this is what Srila Prabhupada is again saying. He's saying the instructions of Krishna are not meaningless dogma. Religion often gives rise to dogmatism, but the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja, urges us to try to understand Lord Chaitanya and the philosophy of Krishna consciousness according to logic. Yeah, this is one of the first instructions that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving us in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when we start reading it. Yeah? You all who read it, you remember. He's saying, first of all, try to understand Krishna consciousness from the point of logic, not just the faith. Yeah, and this is one of the biggest differences, because I mean, and I mean, again, we are not. It's not really our fault. I mean, we've been brought up in this atmosphere of again, where all these basic religions are, and we all have different backgrounds, like, I don't know, Christian, whatever, Muslim, Hindu, and still, since we've been brought up in this atmosphere, we are kind of influenced by this, that, you know, it's just we take something on as a faith, and then we meet suddenly devotees, and we get, you know, infatuated by that. We like it. Something, you know, clicks inside. Something feels kind of like nice and warm. And then instead of actually trying to really dive deep into it and really try to understand it, first of all, logically, we just, okay, because, yeah, we have the faith. Like, you know, there are so many people, like on Janmashtami. How many people come on Janmashtami to the Janmashtami? Yeah, well, like thousands and hundreds and thousands all over the world. But to believe in Krishna and to believe even that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to actually trust him, there is a big gap, right? Because trusting means what? Trusting means that I actually do what he says, right? And believe, I can believe. I can believe so many things in this world. I can believe in Einstein. I can believe in, I don't know, there are so many theories these days, so many nice concepts, so many nice teachers in Instagram. They teach us so many things. And I can believe so many guys, you know. And I can believe in Krishna also. I mean, what is the problem? I believe in Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, why not? He came 500 years ago. So nice. But what am I actually doing that they are telling me? Because believing and trusting, there is a big gap in between. So this is the second thing, the second flaw of any religion. And the third one is that without a solid philosophical foundation, religion breeds intolerance and fanaticism. Yeah, and this is what, again, a very famous Srila Prabhupada's statement, that you know, when he said that you cannot have religion without philosophy, and because then it becomes sentiment and fanaticism, and religion must be on the basis of science and logic. That's the first class religion, Srila Prabhupada says. And very nicely, my Guru Maharaj, because I mean he dove very deep into this topic, and he also quotes here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, who very harshly talks about any organized religion as a social institution. And we have to be very, very careful with this, right? Because in ISKCON, I mean, our movement is more than 50 years now. And obviously we see that it's kind of growing, it's getting more influence, it's getting more power, more and more people are joining. But at the same time, sometimes we can forget, while there's so much external activity going on, you know, we're building temples, acquiring this, that, we might actually forget about the essence, yeah? And then we might start become secularized, the term, yeah? And become just as any other organized religion, basically. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, he talks about this very harshly. He says, I will read it, his quote. He says, the church that has the best chance of survival in this damned world is that of atheism under the convenient guise of theism. The churches have always proved the staunchest upholders of the grossest form of worldliness, from which even the worst of non-ecclesiastical criminals are found to recoil. Well, he's using this, you know, language, which sometimes may be a little bit difficult to understand. But anyway, you understand, you get the point. The original purpose of the established churches of the world may not always be objectionable, but no stable religious arrangement for instructing the masses has yet been successful. Yeah. So basically, all genuine religions, they bring humanity the good news from the so-called, you know, eternal spiritual world. And usually, in the beginning, the founders of these religions, they desire to give as many people as possible the opportunity to come in contact with something that every person is hankering for. You know, everybody feels that there is something more to it. Everybody is searching for truth, basically. Yeah, that's just the nature of the soul. We know that. Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Yeah, so Chit is exactly this constant hankering for knowledge, for the truth. So people subconsciously they tend to go there. They tend to look for answers, right? And there are so many founders of these different religions and the churches. And then in the beginning they have this noble motive to give them this, right? But the problem is that over time, as these things they start taking the organized forms, spiritual movements adapt to the values of this world and transform into just some rituals and you know, mundane sentimentality. Actually, there's an interesting quote. This is how Wikipedia describes secularization of Christianity. Yeah, maybe you will be interested to know. It says, secularization in Christianity is the process of reorienting the church towards solving worldly issues, which contrasts with its original highly spiritual and sacred mission of saving the soul and attaining eternal life. The secularization of clergy can manifest in an engaging in commerce, striving for privileges, material wealth, or prestigious positions, and merging with state authority. And honestly, if you think about this now, we can use the same thing for ISKCON in some situations. You agree? Yeah. So, and this is what we have to just be aware of. And I'm not saying that this is like some kind of a end of the world or something, but I'm just saying that this is a risk and something that we need to think about and to, on the first hand, take responsibility of our own spiritual life, not to get into this whole trend. And at the same time, when we are dealing with some mentors or seniors in ISKCON, we have to be very conscious and aware that we don't get into this influence if we feel that some of them are basically playing this game, which is, again, you know, it's okay. I mean, they're also humans, and sometimes, you know, they get into this thing. So basically what the point is, so what I wanted to say next, yeah, so the idea is that in the beginning, any person, he comes into this religious organization or movement or whatever, anyone, like whether it's Christianity or ISKCON, everybody has this genuine desire to seek to understand the absolute truth, the ultimate truth, right? But what we should be aware of is that aware of this mechanism of substitution, yeah, which as we just read by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that at some point the church starts just substituting this how to say, this quest or this journey to understand the truth into packages, into just some set of rules and regulations, and then promising that these rules and regulations will automatically give us the liberation. So this is what we have to be very careful about ourselves, because at the end of the day, this is the this is what differentiates a seeker, a true spiritual seeker, from the religious person. Is the idea that the religious person, what he does, he just wants liberation. He just wants to come somewhere, and recently, it's so crazy. In Vatican, what they do now is that they sell these special like boards. So you come there, you pay money, and then they give you this specific like a title that with your spot in the heaven. Yeah, so many people come. They pay so much money. Why? Because people, again, they have this natural inside inclination to be how to say, to be salvated, to be liberated. That's like the how to say, everybody wants that at least at the end I come somewhere and I will be liberated from all this craziness of this life and all these burdens and worries and all of that, right? So and then in that way, when the person comes to the religious organization, he is seeking for this salvation, and then they already have this pre-made packages of basically some rules, regulations, of some regular donations that you have to give, and then the person is feeling like, okay, so I am here, I am doing this, I am giving some donations on time, I come to church every Sunday, and now we're also talking about ISKCON, yeah? Okay, so I come to ISKCON, I come to the temple every Sunday, I do the Gaur Aarti, I leave a little bit of my money in that little box out there, I take a little bit of the prasadam, yeah, and I follow some regulations, yes, I try to get up in the morning, I chant my 16 rounds, and I'm saved, I'm liberated, right? Isn't it so nice? Yeah. And so, but this is the idea, and especially we have so many like kind of fake proof of that, that even when you start actually discussing with some devotees, they will say, but of course this is what actually Srila Prabhupada was always saying, just continue, this is what Lord Chaitanya has brought us, he gave us this method, so I'm doing all this, so yeah, I'm automatically I'm automatically liberated. But this is not this is not right understanding of what actually Lord Chaitanya has brought to us and what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Yeah, nothing happens automatically. Automatically means whenever we say about automatic, anything means mechanical, and anything mechanical is actually opposite by the connotation to consciousness. So if we talk about Krishna consciousness, consciousness by definition cannot be mechanical, right? So that is something that we need to really think seriously about, and not be how to say, fooling ourselves, or what's the right word? Yeah. Bypass ourselves, that now I'm doing this, I'm come to the temple, I do this, I do that, and then at the end of the day, I will be liberated. Or another idea that we can have is that, and that's also even some devotees are preaching like that, they say that don't worry, just try to endure somehow, this life is difficult, just try to endure, and then just wait before the death, and then at that point somehow magically the Viman will arrive and you will be elevated to the Vaikuntha, which is a devotee's idea of the paradise, basically. Yeah, But again, this is completely not what the whole movement of Lord Chaitanya is all about, and what actually Krishna consciousness is all about as a real science and as a methodology. Yeah, and let's look quickly. We have a few more minutes at the what again. How is it different? How we can see what how the religious person is different from the actual seeker of the truth. Yeah, and so one thing we said about already that yeah, when we whenever we deal with also maybe with some seniors in this movement, and whenever we feel that somebody is telling us that just come here, do this seva, do that, and then everything will come automatically. You will be liberated. This is the first sign that something is not right. Yeah, something I have to. I cannot be mechanical. Yeah, and. Whenever there is this, we hear that maybe some devotees can tell us, yes, just continue, just do this, everything will come, and then you know, you just need to get engaged in, and then everything will come automatically. That is not really the truth, because we always what I wanted to say, yeah, my thought is sometimes when we come here, we think that, okay, how the religious person thinks. He thinks that I just need to do this choice once and for good. Okay, I surrender to you, Krishna. I'm now part of this organization, and I'm doing my things. I'm doing my rounds. I'm doing my seva, and that automatically will grant me something wow at the end of my life. So this is the mindset of a religious person. Because actually, we every day, if you think about it, a person who is a seeker, every day he is confronted with different situations. And every day we are taking hundreds, tens and hundreds of decisions. So a seeker, how is he different? He is not surrendering just once and then just completely shuts off his intelligence and then thinks that, okay, now because I'm coming to the temple once a week and I'm taking prasadam and I'm chanting 16 rounds, everything will be solved. No. The seeker is actually trying to see Krishna in every situation, and then he's trying to remember to reconfirm his choice, not once. I made my choice. I'm a Krishna devotee. I believe in Krishna. Yeah, but he is actually doing it in every single situation throughout his day. Yeah, even every hour, even every minute. We always have to ask ourselves, what I'm doing right now, is it actually getting me closer to Krishna or actually getting me further from Krishna? Yeah, and this is our, how to say, a seeker. This is his exercise that he is supposed to do. This is also his sadhana. Not that I'm just automatically doing my sadhana as a 16 rounds. Sometimes we see that. I've seen it quite a few times in my life. I have seen some some devotees who've been following this path for 20 years. Every morning, very strict morning program. Mangala Aarti, 16 rounds, 2 hours reading of books of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah? Always with the devotees, but at the same time, clashing with everyone. You know, feeling so much like anxiety, feeling miserable, constantly angry, you know, like constantly dissatisfied. Yeah. Why is it happening? That's one of the reasons, because obviously that person is still following this religiously, not actually he is trying to really find the truth. And another thing is that the difference is the also yeah, so this responsibility. So also we have to be careful when, especially when we are, that is something that if we are mentoring someone who is junior to us, we have to give them also more opportunity for responsibility, and we have to tell them that this is actually your responsibility. You are the one who can make things either work or not work. It's not that just come, serve under my guidance, do this and that, and then everything will happen automatically. Yeah, so we have to be also very conscious about that. And then what else I wanted to say? Yeah, well, of course, time goes very quick. But anyway, yeah, I think I will just basically stop here, and I will just say that the way we can also really deal with this in a very specific way is that at least I see that also in many devotees, even some devotees who are already practicing for some time and even got initiated and the second initiated, we have to be very conscious of how actually this process works. Like, what are the stages of this process? And we have to be able to identify at which stage am I at this particular time of my life, and then how do I actually get to the next stage? Because this is the part of any like, if you look at any science or business or work, like, okay, good example with when the lady is pregnant, yeah? When she's pregnant, if she knows what happens during each month of her pregnancy, she's prepared, right? She can actually make this process much more conducive and much more effective, and actually how to say, influence the end result. Do you agree? The same is with the spiritual practice. We have to know exactly on which stage, what is happening, how am I supposed to feel, what should I do now and what I should not do now. Yeah, like, for example, some devotees think that they start getting obsessed, like, I don't know, they haven't even got like initiated, but they are already obsessed about anartha nivritti. But how can you be obsessed about anartha nivritti if you haven't even started your officially your spiritual path? Anartha nivritti is the stage that follows after bhajana kriya, and the bhajana kriya is the stage that follows after sadhu sangha, which means that I have associated among sadhus. And then among these sadhus, I actually gave my heart to one of them. And now I gave him my promises. And now we got into this bond. So I started taking his instruction. He gave me the initiation. I started now serving under his guidance. And now, again, if I'm sincere enough, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that, I can enter into anartha nivritti. Even anartha nivritti is not an automatic process, because it's a very painful stage of the spiritual practice, which not even everybody is willing to get into, because that is connected to something that I have to give up, everything that I'm used to kind of like think and do, and all my values, basically, they have to be reset. I have to, how to say, admit to myself that basically all my life I've been living, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, like, completely. So, and all these things we have to be aware of. Yeah, that first now maybe I'm just Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, and then Nishtha. Yeah, so all these stages I have to know, and I have to be very attentive and clear about how to get through them and what to expect on each of them. So yeah, I think we have maybe one or two questions. Yeah, and then we can finish. Yeah, in the beginning, but they need to the most important thing for the people who just join in is that not to fall into this trap that I need to turn off now my intelligence and just surrender, meaning that I just believe only. Yeah, I have to believe, but then I have to actually confirm my belief. I have to understand and learn about Krishna and understand him from, first of all, from the logic. Yeah, and I have to know that I'm on a Shraddha. This is the first thing that comes. You're right, Shraddha. But Shraddha is not about just the faith, blind faith. Shraddha means something that actually Shraddha is a very, very deep actually. But in the beginning, I only have this kind of like idea that, okay, like Srila Prabhupada is explaining that very simply. He says, in the beginning at least, you pretend that you say that, okay, maybe Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Yeah, maybe. But then you need to go further. You need to understand what is really now this Shraddha. Then you get, and that's why you get into the Sadhu Sangha, right? You start associating with the people, with the devotees, and especially with the senior devotees, because Sadhu Sangha is also doesn't mean that it's a social factor, yeah? Okay, well now because of I changed the community, now I have this few of the friends, now new friends, at least they don't smoke, they don't drink, but at the same time, you don't even know if they have the right Shraddha or not, you know? But because now I feel kind of like cool with them and stuff like that, and that's how, you know, many devotees, they keep going on and on for years and years and years. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You just need to be constantly conscious, yeah, and constantly ask yourself a question: why am I here? What am I doing here? Am I here just for the sake of that? It's a nice community. At least they have vegetarian food, and people are smiling, and kind of like not smoking and drinking, and at least, you know, guys are not constantly hitting on girls. You know, they have some kind of culture. Is it what I'm here for? Yeah. So the goal of love of God. But what is love of God? Love of God is not something like theoretical. Love of God is some very strong and very intimate and very pleasant emotions that can give us such a bliss that we would never find anywhere in this world. Yeah. Well, yeah, relationship, but through this relationship we can experience a very nice feelings. But these very nice feelings we can experience not because we again we want to exploit something, yeah, but because we serve, and this we need to understand, yeah, and this we need to experience. So yeah, maybe one more last question and then we can go. Yeah. Well, according to our acharyas, what you're saying is that, if I understand you correctly, is that can we just achieve love of Godhead by the mercy without really following the path, right? Okay, well, I can explain to you this very simply. At least as my spiritual master is saying that, and I see that there is, again, logic in this. And this is what actually Srila Prabhupada is always saying. In Bhagavad Gita, there is this verse, Yam Yamva Pismaram Bhavam Tyajatante Kalevaram. I don't remember now, but the meaning of that is that during the time of death, we are getting what we are experiencing, basically. And that way is very scientific. It's not that suddenly, all of a sudden, if I've been living a miserable life and clashing with everyone back and forth and constantly feeling this I don't know, grudge and still feeling all this fear and anxiety, suddenly, all of a sudden, by some, I don't know, providence, that still can happen, but Krishna is merciful and he is has superpower, but we should not rely on that. That usually happens to, I don't know, it's a very rare. But usually when we die, we achieve the same state, and we continue in that state in which we live in the body. So if, again, we're going back to the stages, at least we have to be on the level of ruchi. so that in other life we are already like we are born, and then we really continue with the proper consciousness, and very quickly we can achieve the progress. Yeah, because if we die and we haven't even got to the level of nishtha, it's the same problem. It's again the same, like we can go on again and again get distracted by something. So at least we have to make a goal in this lifetime. And of course life hits us, we have different this and that, but we have to always remember that at least this lifetime is given to us. This is a rare chance that we seriously have to be able as much as possible to try to use to, well, at least to get to nishtha, but better to ruchi, because nishtha is still there's a big chance to still deviate. But in ruchi, it's already it's becoming our state. Yeah, and then naturally we just born again, and then naturally we just continue, and probably in the next lifetime we can already achieve the higher stages. Yeah, but if we haven't got, but the problem is in our society, and this is the statistics. Yeah, this is a real statistics, that so few devotees are actually even getting to the stage of anartha nivritti. So many devotees are still stuck in this bhajana kriya. Yeah, because yeah, again, due to many ideas and to many false ideas that they think it's religion, and they are not really getting into the proper thing. Yeah. So anyway, not. Okay. Chandra ki ki bajayo jaya gora chandir Aarti ka shobha Jahnavitatavane Jagamana lobha Gorangera rotik shobha Jaga janamana loba Gorangera rotik shobha Jaga loba Gorangera rotik shobha Jaga janamana loba Analo haribol 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 nitai gora haribol Dakini taichan Bame gadadharan Nikate advaita shrini Vasachatradhara Bosi Che Gorachan Ratna Simhasane Aarti kare na Brahma Adi Deva Gane Narare Adi Kore Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadi Gaya Shankha Baje Ganda Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shankha Baje Ganda Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shankha Baje Ganda Baje Madhur 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 Baje Madhur Man Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Koti Chanamraji Ujva Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada Bhakati Vinodade Gorara Sampada Iba Jayo Jaya Gaura Chander Aarti Ke Shobha Jana Vitata Vane Jagamana Loba Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Jaya Karunanita Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Karunanita Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Karunita Gaurachandra Bhagavan ki Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivrajikacharya Ashtatara Shata Shishimad Abhaycharana Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivrajikacharya Ashtatara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaja ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavrinda ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Gir Govardhan ki Jai Yamuna Mai ki Jai Gangi Mai ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to all the devotees Jai Shishi Guru and Gauranga Jai Srila Prabhupada
Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Praladalaya Dahine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingha Mahir Narsingha Hridaye Narsingha Narasingamadim Sharanam Prapatye Tava Karakamalavare Nakamatputa Shringa Dalita Hiranya Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Avatara Kamalavare Nakamakuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Brenga Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Shri Singhadev Bhagwan ki jai Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai Gaur Premanand Hari Hari Bol. So, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for coming today to ISKCON Amsterdam Sunday Feast. Today I want to thank our lecturer of today, His Grace Jagadish Prabhu. Give him a big Haribol. The cooking team today were Flevoland devotees, headed by Jai Shri Mataji, Pramila Mataji, Vivek Prabhu, and Kamal Kant Prabhu. So give them also a big Haribol. Haribol. And also Amita Yoga Maya Mataji, probably a lot more. Yes, anyway, Haribol. And also the Pujari team who takes so nice care for the deities. Big Haribol. Haribol. Today's Sunday feast was sponsored by Vracharani Mataji on behalf of her birthday. So she's just back from Mauritius, right? Yes, so we're very happy with that. Let's sing for her. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna to you. May Radharani bless you. May Radharani bless you. May Radharani bless you. May Radharani bless you. Haribo. So many congratulations. So we hope to have you a long time here in the service of Kaunitai. So thank you so much. Today we also got the message that the grandmother, Shri Karunanita Gaurachandra Ki Jai, that the grandmother of Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, one of the devotees of our congregation, she passed away yesterday. So on behalf of her, we want to recite the Mahamantra 3 times together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Haribol. Our next program is upcoming Tuesday. So we have from 5 o'clock reading from the book Chasing Rhinos from Swami, from His Grace Shyama Prabhu, followed by Gaura Aarti. From 6 o'clock there will be a session about the path to happiness given by Triveni and Chitaleka Mataji. You can also follow it via Zoom, but it will be in Dutch though. And then from 7 o'clock there will be a dinner club, so you're all invited to join. Then of course next week we will have again the Sunday feast, and upcoming Saturday there is Harinam in Zwolle from 12 till 2. And I also want to invite you for our first monthly Sankirtan Festival, which will be on Saturday the 31st of January. So if you want to keep up to date with our programs, we are setting up our newsletter again. There will be 2 editions monthly. One will be with more philosophical topics. If there's anyone who wants to write something for that, is very much welcome. And the other one with updates from the temple. So there will come a registration form on our website, but as long as that is not there, if you want to receive the newsletter, you can leave your email address at the reception desk, and then I will add your email address to that. So that were all the announcements. Are there any newcomers today? Any first-time visitors? Yes. So thank you so much. What's your name, Mataji? Sandra. Okay. You live in Amsterdam? Nederlands, right? Thank you so much for coming. Yes. You, Mataji, in the back. What's your name? Rishma. Yes. Thank you for coming. You're traveling or living here? In Utrecht. Okay. Oh, then you can come much more often. Thank you so much. And your name is Mataji? Pamani. Yes, welcome so much. Thank you. So thank you all. We will go on with the last part of our program, the Prasadam. So we will make 2 rows. The Prabhus, which is a gentleman, will make 2 rows over here, and the Matajis, the ladies, will make 2 rows over there. I don't know if is there servants needed. Yeah, so if there's someone wants to help, then you can just go to the kitchen. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.